Clappy clap. Today on WBTV, we're going to be talking about the newest release of a console or PC game over to the mobile platform. And we are going to be talking about the new Dead by Daylight mobile. Okay, so I was shocked earlier this week when Evan from Q's sent me a link to Dead by Daylight mobile, but I immediately downloaded it. And of course, just like any mobile game, it has its giant ass software patch that you have to do once you download it, which takes years. I would open up the game to sit down and play it, and then I would never even get into it because I would get tired waiting for the software patch, close it, and go do something else. But finally, just before we started filming this video, I completed the tutorial, and I played one game of Dead by Daylight mobile. And there was a decent amount of glitches, but I think I got the overall gist of what the experience is on mobile. So before we get into that, we're going to talk about what we think about Dead by Daylight moving to mobile, and then we're going to talk about the experience on mobile, and then we're going to talk about one more thing, which is there is some talk about crossplay coming to Dead by Daylight. So without further ado.
Okay, so my opinion first on it is like the way I see mobile games is okay. I may joke from time to time with like Wade because like I still play like Supercell like mobile games, and those are like really the only mobile games of Supercell or like mobile games I'll play like at all. I'll play Brawl Stars or Clash Royale. Here's my and I'll joke that they're good and whatnot, but I mean honestly, like my standpoint on it is all mobile games are not good. Maybe you find some that are decent or some that are actually made to be decent games, but I bet you 90% of mobile games are all garbage or all trash, or like in terms like pairing up and comparing with video games, they're trash. And the one point that proves this is mobile games aren't made to be games. They're made to pass time. Everyone has a phone, and when they're bored, the majority of people will go play a game. And that's the thing. They play it when they're bored. Unlike video games, where people will deliberately be like, oh, I love playing video games. I'm going to go hop on my Xbox, hop on my PlayStation, hop on my Switch, hop on my PC. And they've invested money into this, like a large sum of money, into a console and then the various games they have to play. So they enjoy playing it and like deliberately go and play it. Whereas a mobile game is just, oh yeah, I'll hop on for a few seconds.
Yeah.
So just the idea of mobile games already, it's like no bueno.
That's what I think, and that's the reason why I did download Dead by Daylight mobile, was because I was happy. It was a game that I already liked, and I figured at some point along the line, you know, I'm going to be bored at school, or I'm going to be bored on a bus somewhere, or I'm going to be bored somewhere. And as long as I have internet access, if I can hop on and grind a few matches of Dead by on my phone, that's pretty appealing to me, because I'm like, you know, it's not one of those like crappy like Candy Crush games or some of those like really cringy mindless apps that, you know, you see the ads for all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like League of Legends and stuff like that.
Can you untie the knot?
Yeah.
Like, I get that one all the time.
They're actually like, it's actually a decent game, and there has been a good amount of work put into it. So I guess without further ado, we'll get into the game controls of the game. So first of all, and I'm gonna play a clip of this in the video because I screen recorded it for this video. When I was doing the tutorial playing Killer, there was a huge ass glitch where as soon as I put the person on the hook, it was just like loud noise of the glitchy sound of the person going on the hook. And it went throughout the entire tutorial. So obviously, you know, it's a new app, so it's not perfect, but that's a decently sized annoying glitch that, you know, people are gonna turn right from that.
Also, you said with controls, right? Like, obviously on regular Dead by, you've got your movements, then you've got your like camera swivel as well, because it's like 3-dimensional and people can juke you by circling you, so that's a very important control. You've then got your hit button, and then you've got your killer power-ups as well. So how do all of these work in the mobile app?
So your left finger is your run or walk. You move it around to walk, and then you move it all the way up to one end to run, and it like locks in running mode until you click it off.
Okay.
Your right finger is look around, and then at the top there's a little bar that's like quick look, so you can scan it to the right and you'll just look like a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left instead of having to like turn all the way around. And then when you walk up to a generator, like button comes up on your screen that says start working on generator.
Oh wait, a button comes up?
Yeah, like on your screen. It'll be, and then you click it. Or when you walk up to a pallet, you can click a button that says like vault. Or crouch is like a button in the bottom right. And yeah, so most of the actions that you would do that would normally just be different buttons on the controller, it prompts you once you walk up to the thing to click the button.
Okay. I'd be curious as well with perks, because there are multiple perks like Dead Hard and like the one where you throw the rock. The name escapes me at this moment, but those perks, like, they require something called an action button, which is normally just A, because A on Dead by isn't used for anything else except for the action button. So I'd be surprised how the action button would work, if it would be a prompt that comes up, or it would always be like there ready and it would just have a loading timer on it to when you can use it next. Also, I forgot that you probably played your first game as Survivor from what you described and not Killer, so my questions weren't really answered, but I mean, still, it's confusing how that would work with Killer, because if they have a separate look button and a separate walk button, both your thumbs are already occupied. And if you know on a phone, you normally hold it like this, and all your other fingers are behind the screen. So either you have to move your thumb from the look to get a hit, or you have to awkwardly have like a claw and have your index finger or middle finger on it. Because at least on Xbox and PlayStation and PC for Dead by, with Dead by Daylight, there's this thing called 360ing, which survivors will just loop around a killer and juke them out and will confuse them. So that's why you need to have your sensitivity high, and you have your one hand on the look button, and you literally have to like circle around and like dip the look button around to look where the survivor is, and then quickly hit the hit button. But see, on mobile, if they're juking you, because it's much easier for them to juke you, because all they have to do is run and look. That's all they have to do. And you have to like do a look and walk when they're juking you, and then as they're juking you, you have to somehow quickly press the hit. But if you take too long or you miss the button, they've already escaped and successfully juked you. So it just seems like the game has a lot of like technical aspects, and it seems like porting it to mobile is I don't know. I don't know, difficult to like capture what it is on console.
That was my immediate response. I figured it was going to be very difficult, and I figured they were going to have to take some of the things out of the console edition to port it to mobile. But as far as I have seen, there hasn't been any major things taken out. As I said, I only played one game. But, I'm sure you might see some things taken out in the future, maybe to level the playing field a little bit between Killer and Survivor and different things like that.
Well, yeah, Killer already has it hard enough. Survivors, it's so easy to play Survivor, 4 different people, and if you're all on comms and all the overpowered perks, and then items on top of that you can abuse, like flashlights, and like some of the loops are like infinite loops that the killers can't even like fight against. So now another handicap on Killer on mobile as well is not setting it up for success.
Yeah. So. A big part of Dead by is the sound, right? You need to be able to hear the killer. You need to be able to hear your premonition pop. You need to be able to hear the gen running. And on mobile, you know, depending on how bad your phone is, your phone speakers aren't great. It might be hard to get, you know, the most immersive, or you might be losing a bit of how well you can play the game as a survivor because you can't hear things, or as a killer because you can't hear things. You can't hear the heartbeat or different things like that. The other thing was skill checks on phone are ridiculously difficult because, you know, phones processors are not very good. There is a decent amount of delay from when the game actually starts the skill check to the response of you touching your phone screen. And when I did the Survivor demo, first of all, you can't just tap the screen for a skill check. There's a specific location that you have to tap, which I think is dumb. Yeah. And then second of all, it's ridiculously difficult. I sat there, you know, I'm not great at skill checks, but normally, like, if I miss one, I'll get another one. And I normally, like, only miss a few for my first couple, like, games if I haven't played in a long time.
Yeah,
and then I'll be all good.
Every other one. Every other one.
Yeah.
Or more.
But when I was playing this, it was a good, like, 5 minutes of just failed skill checks in the tutorial. Because they won't let you move on until you pass a skill check. But they were
they won't let you exit it?
Yeah, in the tutorial, yeah. You have to complete a skill check.
Oh, in the tutorial.
But I couldn't get the stupid skill check, and I was stuck in that section of the tutorial. It was so annoying.
So, as we basically discussed, another, like, fault with mobile games, even if you try and port a very successful game or a video game that is already built really well and has a good community, still porting it to mobile, changing from something like having it already on controller or having it already on keyboard and mouse, and the flexibility and the amount of buttons and technical aspects you can have there, trying to port that over to mobile and having all these buttons on your screens and all these features is extremely difficult. And sets it up for a crappy version of the game, as mobile versions are. So
I mean, it's already super difficult to port a keyboard and mouse game to a console because of the lack of buttons that you have on a controller. So moving on to the speculation of what's going on with consoles. So people have said, so there was a glitch in the most recent update that happened to Dead by Daylight, where you could find people's IP addresses and just put random people into a match together and then start the match. So this was actually brought to light by a lot of Dead by Daylight streamers, because people would put a whole bunch of streamers in one game together just because they wanted them all to face each other, or they would put a whole bunch of streamers in a game with them, so then they could play against the streamers. So the streamers brought this to light, and as far as I know, it has been patched by now. But during this time, console players and PC players were playing together. And there has been a lot more comments more recently of people playing Dead by saying that there has been PC players in the lobby or in a game with other console players. Friends that they know that only have a PC would all of a sudden be loaded into a game with them on console. So this is starting to bring up the speculation, is there going to be crossplay either PC to console or console to console? And a lot of the things that I were reading were saying if they did do crossplay PC console, they would do it console. Because according to what they said, the only thing that's holding them back from doing that right now is they need to make a deal with Microsoft and Sony. So if they made a deal with Microsoft and Sony, it would probably end up being cross-platform on the consoles as well.
This is the most interesting thing about this whole new Dead by Daylight news, because I used to be able to play Dead by Daylight on PlayStation with, like, Wade and all these other guys on PlayStation. However, like, I got rid of my PlayStation, and therefore I couldn't play with them anymore because it's not cross-platform. I mean, also another downside is I've been playing Dead by Daylight a lot longer and have a lot more characters and DLC bought on my Xbox. Like, I probably have, like, 70% of all the characters I have at level 50. and I have like 1 or 2 prestige a couple times. But on PlayStation, it was like only like 1 character I had level 50, and that was that.
Yeah, so that's another thing that has been brought up, is if they're going to open it up to cross-platform, are they going to allow people to, you know, have like a Dead by Daylight account where they can port all their DLCs from platform to platform, which I think would be, you know, if they're spending all this money in the game, they shouldn't have to spend it twice. So, according to speculation, they think that cross-platform will be announced at their anniversary stream. If they're testing out people in the same servers, or they're testing out, you know, PC players and console players, you know, something might be coming down at their or at their anniversary stream. And if they were going to announce it, that would be the place. That's where normally they announce their big things.
This would definitely get me back into Dead by, because on Xbox nowadays I don't really have anyone to play with. And I mean, I think that's likewise with Wade. Many people on PlayStation that used to play Dead by all together don't really play Dead by. So, I mean, if this crossplay update came out, that me and Wade could play together as well. And I mean, like I said, it would get me back into the game, which when Wade mentions the archives, I still don't fully know what the archives is, because I've been unmotivated and I don't have anyone to play with, and there's not any really revolutionary or new interesting killers or concepts. So
I think the last big interesting thing they put into the game was Stranger Things.
Yes, and that was before the archives.
Yeah.
So
I would say, I don't know, you know, exactly what this means, but I'm very excited. I hope crossplay is coming. I think that would be awesome if crossplay actually made it around. You know, there is another balancing thing that needs to be done with crossplay, once again, as we were talking about with the apps, is, you know, keyboard and mouse players. You know, if you got a keyboard and mouse nurse versus a console player, you know, that's a little bit rough right there. You might get a little bit wrecked. But
I mean, also, it's just, if you have anyone on mobile, like any mobile killer versus console or PC survivor, any mobile survivor versus console or PC killer, like, it's just, mobile is going to be inferior. It's going to be weaker. So
yeah, I can't see, even if they do crossplay between PC and consoles, I can't see them bringing mobile into the game. I think that would be that would be a bad move on the Dead by Daylight.
Exactly.
People would literally get wrecked.
Yeah, especially with how glitchy, like, Dead by Daylight already is, and how not fine-tuned it is, and then clearly already the glitches that have been found on mobile as well do not mix well.
Yeah, I mean, Dead by Daylight wouldn't be the same, folks, without all the glitches. The glitches make it so good. Yeah.
4-man killer glitch?
Yeah. Or the glitch that we had where the killer just never spawned. So thank you guys for watching this episode of WBTV. Leave a comment down below what you think about Dead by Daylight Mobile, or if you think that Dead by Daylight crossplay will be coming. And of course, we will be bringing you the news if Dead by Daylight crossplay gets announced. But thank you guys for watching this episode of WBTV. Share it with your family. Share it with your friends. Share it with Logan, because he is your friend.
Don't make this a new thing. You've done this the last 3 videos we've recorded. Don't make this a thing.
We're hopefully, you know, getting back in the schedule now. You know, we had to bump a video. You know, it got bumped from last Friday to this Monday. So we're hopefully back in the schedule by the time this video comes out, and videos are coming out on time. So thank you guys for watching. You know, one peach at a time, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Thank you guys for watching WBTV. If you want to see more videos like this one, click the video on the right. If you want to see skits, click the video on the left. And make sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video.